Greetings! Today is October 14th, 2025, and we're back with another video. And in this video, we're going to be reviewing the newly released Scarecrow from the Mcfarlane DC Multiverse line. Now, how I acquired this Scarecrow, right? I pre-ordered it online on GameStop. And then all of a sudden I went into Walmart yesterday and I saw it in store. I was like, what? It's already out? Already? Like, I think the pre-order wasn't going to be available till around, like, maybe the pre-order was available on the 10th and then just automatically just dropped. So, like, if you're walking around Walmart right now, or if you go to Walmart, if you have a local Walmart, check in there because they have Batgirl, they have Scarecrow, and then they got the Guardian on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? So, there's, like, they getting shipments out for that particular wave. But, yeah, Scarecrow, he actually looks great in the box. Side of the box is the back of the box. You got a nice cool artwork of them. And if anybody needs the barcode, there's the barcode. But yeah, let's crack this bad boy open and take a closer look. So here we have Scarecrow. And I gotta say, I pretty much like the way he came out. He looks really good. Like, the sculpting and everything on him came out very, very good as far as like paint apps. They really worked a lot on this figure. He has the ropes and everything around him. He has pretty much a lot of good wash on him too. Like, we've gotten previous Scarecrows in the past. You know what I'm saying? I think we got it from the Arkham video game. We also got another Scarecrow that was like strapped to like Bane's back. And I think he had like a gas mask and everything. But this is the Scarecrow that everyone who collects DC figures really wanted. The previous Scarecrow that came out, I think it was in a DC Mattel version, was pretty much the same, similar as this one. The only difference with that one is it was a lot shorter. This one is actually tall, and he's got actually a lot of like cuts in him. Like, he's really cut up very nicely. Like, he's, I guess, actually a man under there. You know what I mean? I know before he looked like a scrawny man, but he still is kind of skinny. But just looking at the attention to detail and everything on what they did with like the wraps around his chest, they gave him this tattered looking neck brace right here. And it also has like the rope sketch in and everything. Like, this is all like I would say it's more like a sculpted fabric. But as you can see there, like, they really did pay attention to detail. Like, they really went all out as far as the sculpt with this Scarecrow. I don't know if you can see his eyes, but his eyes under there are painted as well. His mask, I mean, the stitching and everything looks flawless on this. I got to say, I actually like the way he came out a lot. You know, this right here is loose tassels and everything. This is all loose. But this right here is, like, pretty much strapped on there pretty well, the rope. And he also has another design up here, where you have more rope right here. You also have a rope hanging off of his hat. But yeah, like, paying attention to it. I mean, when you get this in hand, you're going to actually see all of the detail. And he looks intimidating. Like, he looks scary. Like, if someone was standing at the end of a hallway, you wouldn't probably walk down there if you see this man with a hatchet in his head. But he came with a cool hatchet too. You know what I'm saying? This hatchet is removable, but I just put it in there to actually show you can hold it. He holds it very tightly too. But the hatchet has a little bit of blood stains on it and everything. Like, it's real rusted and worn. So, like, yo, they really did a good job, like, with the attention to detail with this particular Scarecrow. But yeah, man, like, this right here, the little patterns, this right here is the only part that's really like painted on. So there's no stitching there. The stitches are painted on, not stitched. His hands, I mean, the wash on this guy is really good. He doesn't come with any accessories other than pretty much this hatchet. And he comes with this skull that he can hold in his hand. And the skull is really good. Like, it doesn't have a hole in it. I thought it would, where you can actually put it on another character. But no, this is a skull that, you know what I'm saying, he comes with. And I actually like the attention to detail with this skull. We've seen skull action figures before, but that's a very good accessory for Scarecrow to have. A very scary, intimidating character, man. And, you know, as far as how he came out, like, his neck is painted under there, so I don't know if you can see it, but his neck is painted so that way it won't break up the actual color with this fabric that's around his neck. His head can move both ways. So he got a little good amount of head movement. You do the rock and everything. His arms go all the way out. They also have rotation, so you can rotate the arms. He has double jointed elbows. So you can really get him in a lot of nice good poses as far as like when you want to set him up or design him on your shelf. His ab crunch is not really there, so he can only go forward that much. But he can go back that much, like that. His legs, they only kick out but so far because of this particular piece right here. So you can only get that much kick, that much back. Double jointed knees, so you can kick his own behind. He's got toe articulation, and he's got ankle rocker. So, but yeah, overall, like, yeah, this is the Scarecrow I think that everybody wanted. I was even waiting for him. I was anticipating. I knew he was going to come out eventually because he's given us previous Scarecrows. But yes, this is a nice Scarecrow to add to your Batman DC shelf if you have been collecting McFarlane. This is a very good design Scarecrow. This is a Scarecrow, I mean, that, like I said, a lot of people wanted him. They wanted a classic Scarecrow, and we actually got him. I thought they were going to give him us in the superheroes superpowers line, but nah, they actually gave us a very good designed Scarecrow. And like I said, the paint apps on this guy is really impressive, man. They did a really good job with this. So yeah, this is a good Scarecrow. Like, I was looking at Todd's Comic-Con convention interview, and one thing that he did mention, right, was that when the interviewer asked him why didn't he give us all of the heavy hitters first, and his response was kind of interesting because what he said was that most retailers, when they do get all of those A-list characters in the beginning, when toy companies give you all the A-list characters first, they have a hard time selling the rest of like action figures that are D and C characters. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of understand that because the way he broke it down was like, if he was to give you all A-list characters, if you give you the Scarecrow first, if you give you all the A-list characters, then it was going to be very hard to move the rest of those B and D and C-list characters in the future because the retailers won't order it. Like, if they order all A-list characters in the first wave, and that sells out, and then they order the D-list characters in the second wave because that's what collectors want, and then they don't sell. A lot of them stay on the shelf. Well, then what ends up happening is the retailer is kind of apprehensive on buying the third wave because they're looking at the previous wave that didn't sell anything. So it's very difficult for a toy designer to actually put product out if they hitting you with a whole bunch of A-listers in the beginning, because it's hard to move those D and C characters that don't sell, that nobody wants. But if you sprinkle them out and he puts some of the A's and D's in the same wave, well, obviously going to sell. The A's are definitely going to sell out. But then that'll also give the retailers understanding like, okay, well, they still sell. They're not just not flat out don't sell at all. No, they are selling. So it makes it easier for the next wave of characters that we want to be put on the shelf, and for the retailers not to be scared because of the previous D wave that didn't sell to buy them again. And I get that. So I kind of like I understand what he was talking about with that. Like, for us to get a Scarecrow now, I kind of understand it a lot more than before, because I was questioning, like, why don't he just give us a regular Scarecrow that everybody wants? But, you know, in time and as far as like the way he broke it down, I kind of understand it. The retailers like Walmart and Target or Amazon will not want to take on a whole wave if the previous wave didn't sell well. And usually 9 times out of 10, and we see that now with even Hasbro, even with Mattel, like they'll release all of these heavy hitters, but then that next wave don't sell nothing. And that's the most difficult part for, you know, the toy companies, because they can't they can't convince the retailer to, hey, buy this next wave because these are going to be good. But you got to convince them with that wave that's out there now that ain't moving. So I kind of understand that. But yeah. Now, as far as size comparison, here is Scarecrow standing next to the Marvel Legends Iron Man, Tony Stark's Iron Man. And here is Scarecrow standing next to the newly released Masters of the Universe Teela. And I want to say something. Does this Teela look weird to you? I don't know who owns this figure yet, but why does her eyes look like that, yo? Her eyes look like it's looking way up. just want to put that out there. When I got this box in hand, I was like, oh, sure, I find my Tila finally came, but her eyes just look way too far up. Mattel got to work on their paint apps as far as eyes, man, because if they get in the DC license in the future, they definitely got to work on this paint apps, bruh. It look crazy. And here is Scarecrow standing next to NECA's Raphael from the Ronin series. Here is Scarecrow standing next to the McFarlane DC Multiverse Arkham series Catwoman. Here he is standing next to McFarlane DC Multiverse Commissioner Gordon. And here he is standing next to McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman with the flared cape. Which, I gotta say, this Batman, I like this Batman. This is the Chase Batman, but I love this. This Batman goes with any of the classic versions of, like, villains, Gotham villains, to me. You know what I'm saying? I know everyone has their favorites, but as far as photography and everything, and when I'm going to put Batman in action poses, this is my go-to Batman because of the painted cowl, the blue. This is a different blue. I think they call it Batman blue. There's different blues that we've gotten, you know what I'm saying, with the McFarlane series, but this blue, this Batman is one of my favorite Batmans that I like. I know a lot of people don't like him. There's Pegwoman of the other version, but the Chase one to me is the dynamic Batman just to me. And that wraps up my review of the newly released McFarlane DC Classics from the DC Multiverse line of Scarecrow. Rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you see this guy. Tell me if you're going to pick him up. And like I said, he's in Walmart right now. He's popping up in Walmart along with the other wave of characters. And, you know, if you're lucky, you go up in there, you find him, you know, you can grab him. He's also packed in with the Dark Flash. I think the zombie-looking Flash as well. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in another video in the future. Peace.